Coming up on today's show, we are talking about how you can use your behavior type, lean into that, and become more productive. Hello, darlings, and welcome to Wake Up and Show Up Live. I am your host. This is a daily show giving you a daily dose of inspiration and empowerment. And we are on a journey to make sure that we are taking our lives off of autopilot. So you guys, thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Paula, darling, thank you so much for being here. You guys, I'm super excited about this show. If you know that this week we have been talking about productivity. And so today what we are going to be talking about is understanding our behaviors, leaning into them, and making us even more productive based upon our behavior types. We don't want to change you. We want to enhance what you already have. So hello, darlings. Thank you for joining. Good morning, darling. I finally caught the live. Oh, Paula, thank you so much for joining. I love to see your Instagram and your Facebook because you have so much going on in your life. So I absolutely love it. One of the things we love to do here is I want to know, what are you grateful for? What are you guys grateful for, my friends? I always say that we can find a glimmer, a slither of hope in the midst of anything. And so what are you guys grateful for today? What are you grateful for today? Today, I am extremely grateful that I get the opportunity to serve this community as well as a podcast community. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the feedback that I receive. I'm so grateful when you guys show up and that what we're talking about, what we're saying, the guests that we have on the podcast, that they are touching your lives and impacting your lives. So I am so grateful for that. So you guys let me know what it is that you guys are grateful for. I want to know in the comments, what is it that you're grateful for? Also, I want to make sure that I can keep in touch with you. So the way that we do that is through text. If you text the phrase wake up to 31996, that's wake up to 31996, you can communicate with us. We can communicate with you. And then we'll let you know when the shows are going live, when podcasts are being released, as well as inspiration and some empowerment throughout your week. So if you want to keep in touch with us, all you have to do is text the phrase wake up to 31996. So what are you guys grateful for? What are you grateful for? Oh, Ty, she's grateful for me. Hello, darling. So grateful that my family has been protected during these troubling times. Absolutely, Paula. How important is that? Yes. Daryl says he is grateful to have a job during this pandemic. They're keeping me busy, but I thank God for it. Absolutely. We can always find hope and whatever it is that we're doing. And sometimes holding on to somebody else's hope helps us. It enhances our faith too, to believe that if that could happen to somebody else, that can definitely happen to me. And so while we are getting on with the show, one of the things that we always do here is if I am speaking something to you, if I'm saying something to you, if it's good to you, we always say, hello, darling. So in the comments, I want you to comment, hello, darling. If I say something that's good to you, if it's something that reverberates with you, if it's something that you've said before and you're like, yes. So I am super duper excited about today. Listen. One of the things that I want you to do is share this broadcast. If you are on Periscope, give me some hearts, share this broadcast via Twitter and everything else, because this is going to be good. I am super excited about this. I love talking about behaviors. I love talking about goals, and I love talking about productivity. Why? Because I think it speaks to the individual person. And I love speaking to individuals. Ray said, I am grateful for still being blessed with towing jobs. Absolutely. So grateful for you guys. Continually to come on. So listen, let us jump into the content for today. So you guys know we're going to talk about behaviors. One of the things that I absolutely believe is I believe that people are individuals. How many of us believe that? Hello, darlings. I absolutely believe it. And sometimes when we are talking about different topics, we oftentimes talk about it as a whole, but not necessarily to the individual person. And that's what makes us unique. That's what makes us show up differently, is because we are in fact different. And so how many of you guys have heard, you've kind of talked about, productivity, or you've talked about goal setting, and you said, well, this is just how I am. I'm just a procrastinator. That's not going to happen for me. Okay, well, all of that can be true. But what if all of that is true and you can lean into your behavior types, your archetypes, your strengths, and find out, how can I make who I am actually work for me? I was created for a reason. I was created this way. I am this way. And so let's lean into those things that make us that way. So one of the things I love is, because I know many of you guys have taken, and type 1 in the comments if any of you guys have taken either a Myers-Briggs, either a Strength Finders, the Enneagram. If any of you guys have taken any of those personality tests or quizzes or whatever, evaluations, put one in the comments, because I bet you most of us have taken those personality tests, have taken those assessments before. They sound really, really big. I don't know about you guys. I go to networking events and sometimes it's a little pretentious and people are like, oh yeah, I am an ENFJ. Okay, so what does that mean? And so I think understanding what that means is really important, because you can know you're an ENFJ, or that you're a number 3 on the Enneagram, or that your Strength Finder is the executor. But if in fact we don't dig into that, we don't lean into that. Good morning, Kim, darling. Thank you so much. But if we don't lean into that, hey, Mom, thank you so much for joining. If we do not lean into that, what happens is we know the letters, we know the personality types, but it's not working for us. It's working against us. The reason why companies, the reason why those tests are given are really because we want to strengthen our teams. We want to strengthen our organizations. We want to strengthen our people as an individual, but oftentimes we take those tests without the steps to go along with it, without you telling me, oh yeah, it's amazing that I'm an extrovert, that's intuitive, that has feelings and judging. But what does that mean? That just means that it sounds good when I go to a party. It sounds good when I go to a networking event, that I can throw out those things. But how does that work for me? How does me being an extrovert work for me? How do I make it work for me so that I'm productive? Because you know what? As an extrovert, I like people. So I'm often up away from my desk. When I was working in corporate and working with a lot of people, oh, you could always find me at somebody's desk. Why? Because my personality type is an extrovert. Also, I'm very feeling. I have to come back and watch the replay. No problem. Actually, I am also feeling, right? And I want to make sure that people are healthy and they're doing fine. But guess what? That hurts my productivity sometimes if I don't reel that in and understand that. Okay, so what are we talking about? These are the things I want you to do today. I want you to do this today. Grab your pen, grab your paper, grab your notebook, not on the device that you're watching this, because you'll go off. But anyway, I want you to grab something. I want, as we're going through, for you to identify the archetype that most closely identifies with you. I will tell you this, that you will see a couple that identify with you. So you may say, oh, I feel like I'm this and this and this. And if you feel like you're all three, which a lot of us encompass a lot of them, absolutely. A lot of them encompass all of these. However, there is one primary that you're like, that is definitely me. And so I want you to identify one, your primary. But if you see that there's like another one, add that as your secondary. So put a 1 next to the primary, a 2 next to the other one. Okay. So as we're going through, we're going to label the ones that you think you best fit with. Number 2, when you're listening to this particular archetype, I am going to talk about what drives you. I'm going to talk about your constraints, which are your opportunities for improvement. And I'm going to talk about, the things that you're strong in. And so as I'm doing that, I want you to, number 2, write down your pain point. What is that pain point when it comes to you? I already know which one I am, and I will tell you, I think I told you guys yesterday, but I'm going to tell you again today. And I'll tell you what my pain point is surrounding my behavior, surrounding my archetype. Then number 3, I know it's a lot, but hold on. Number 3, I want you to write down one goal that you want to accomplish and that you think you could accomplish in 14 days. And then after you write that down, hello, darling, I want you to write a number from 1 to 10. about that goal? How important is that goal to you? And if that goal is anything less than a 6, throw it away and get a new goal. Just the way it is, right? And so as we're going through this, the reason why I want you to write that down is because that definitely helps with our archetypes, especially as we're trying to be productive, as we have goals that we want to attain. So think about it. You can even think about it now. What is one goal that you want to accomplish and that you think you can accomplish in 14 days? Then write a number 1 through 10. If that number is less than a 6, throw it out, get you a new goal, because that's not really a goal you want to achieve and you'll waste your time. All right. So are you guys ready? Ready. If you guys are ready, say hello, darling, in the comments, and we are going to get going. So the 4 archetypes that we are going to talk about today. Yes. Are there many? Absolutely. But guess what? When you have too many options, you won't order anything off the menu. How many of you guys have been to Cheesecake Factory? Me. And I literally only order about 3 things off of that huge menu. Why? Because too many options make us overwhelmed. Okay. So four behavior archetypes for productivity and goal execution, not goal planning, goal execution, because we are going after our goals. So number 1 is the CEO. Number 1 is the CEO. Number 2 is the free spirit. Number 3 is the good Samaritan. And number 4 is the perfectionist. So now I'm going to go through each and every one of them. And I want to hear it. When I get to yours, let me know which one is yours so I know who I'm talking to. And so they actually do have good cheesecakes. They have great cheesecakes. However, they have a huge menu. But I'm going to go through each one. Let me know which one you are. A lot of you guys, I know. Some people I don't know as intricately, but I want to make sure that you guys are just commenting and let me know. So the CEO, listen, if you are the CEO, your drivers, the reason why you do what you do a lot of times fall back on success, achieving results, and challenges. You love challenges, but more importantly, you love to achieve results no matter what. If somebody gives you something to do, you're going to do it. It's going to be a dog with a bone, and you are going after this because your driver is achieving results. It is succeeding in whatever you do. And sometimes that success is just getting it done. That is the CEO. Those are your drivers. Now listen to this, because these are some of your constraints. These are some of the things that you have to think about as you're leading, as you're driving, as you're a hard charger, is that pursuing success in a way that is not fulfilling. So it's very important for this particular archetype to understand what your flame is. What is the thing that gets you going? Your flame would be categorized as your why, but I don't like to say why because I feel like it's overused. But your flame is the thing that holds you to the fire. It is the thing that even when you don't want to, it's the thing that you do. Oftentimes for the CEO, because they're so driven by success and by results that they completely miss that. So that they're going after things that don't even mean anything to them. Remember, you guys, productivity versus busy. The CEO is extremely busy. Not all the time are they productive because they're not always doing things that are bringing value to who they are and to what they want. And so it really is going back to that. Moving too fast. This can cause them to sometimes be impulsive and unable to manage unexpected problems that may occur. Sometime inadequate planning. So this is the person that you say, hey, you know what? I need you to go do this. And they go do it without any extra instructions. They're just like, okay, what I got to do, I'm going to succeed in that. I'm going to go. The thing about the CEO is that you absolutely want a CEO, right? This is the girlfriend that you definitely want on your team. Why? Because when you say, I'm ready to go on we're going to go on a trip. This is the girlfriend that is going to be writing down where y'all going to go, how much it's going to cost, when y'all going to get there. This is the person that is going to have the list out for you. So you guys are going to know everything that you're going to be doing at what time. You have no questions, right? This is the CEO. And so it's very important that if you are the CEO, when we're talking about your goals and we're talking about productivity, one of the things that I want to tell you, and as we go over the week, I'm going to get even more deep into it, but it's take the time to take advantage of the fact that you are among the 20% of people that get goals done. But what we want you to do is we want you to make sure that they're lining up with things that bring value to you. The CEO tends to be very busy, but not all the time is the CEO productive. So that's the CEO archetype. If that's you, type it in the comments. This is a no judgment zone. The free spirit. Y'all know the free spirit. This is your girlfriend. You always want this girlfriend as well, or you always want this guy friend, because the free spirit is the one that takes you out of your comfort zone. They're adventurous. They're going to want to go do something. When you tell them you're ready to go somewhere, they're like, where are we going? I'm in. She's always in. She's always ready. She's the free spirit. She can always find love and joy and peace in everything. She's passionate. This person is passionate. They are driven by freedom. So this would definitely be the friend that would be like, oh my God, this opportunity came up. I'm going straight for it. I'm not really thinking about a plan. I just love freedom, and this is going to bring me freedom. This is going to bring me purpose and passion. The free spirit. This person is driven by adventure. This is your friend that you're probably going to jump out of planes together. You're going to go skydiving together. You're going to go swimming in the cenotes together. This is that friend. She is driven by passion. She's very passionate. He or she is very passionate in what it is that they're doing. They love it. They appreciate freedom, and not just freedom, like just being free, but they don't like the constructs of different things. So they don't like to be put in a box. That's why this friend pushes you. You guys remember last week when we talked about the 3 people that we needed a pusher. We needed somebody that was going to push us. This is going to be that person. However, the free spirit is the jack of all trades and the master of none. The free spirit is the person that's going to have what I talked about before, 25 tabs open at once. And not only is she going to have 25 tabs open in her brain and on her computer at once, but she's going to start stuff that she doesn't finish. And this is a no judgment zone. This is a no judgment zone, because even in that, we're able to find out what we can do to make sure we lean into that as we get productive. And we'll talk about that throughout the week. And so she is the jack of all trades. She is great at trivia, but not so much for executing, right? And so this is the friend that has all the ideas, but you wonder why she has so many ideas, why he or she is so amazing and fabulous and creative, but they cannot finish anything. They cannot finish anything at all. And it is because they are such free spirits and they are such free thinkers that for them, what they really need to do is grab an accountability partner. Also, these are the people that when we talked about yesterday, they really need those 20 to 30 minutes to concentrate on one thing, take a break, and then you allow them to work on something else. So for them, they really do need that. They do need to be able to work on multiple things, but they have to have focused time on one thing. So they have to really work on that focus muscle. So it is very important that they take a task that they say, this is the task that I'm going to do. But we give them a break and we let them work on something else, but they can only work on 1 or 2 things. We do not allow them to work on 10 things at once. 1 or 2. The reason why they need an accountability partner is because they are a free spirit, and you tell them that they have 30 minutes to work on one thing and they're not going to do it. So that's why it's so important for them. But the thing is, once they lock in on one thing and once they create that one thing, man, the creativity flows even more. So that is the free spirit. Yes. Chasmin said that's me. Mommy said that's me. I would definitely say you guys are free spirits. Absolutely. And the Good Samaritan. Oh my goodness. You love this friend. You love this friend because even between being in this time, she's calling and checking up on you. She probably shouldn't, but she's dropping off cookies and cakes at your door. This is the Good Samaritan. She is driven, or he is driven, by helping others and building relationships. They love building relationships and they love others. The key is, or the thing for them is that they are driven by the expectations of others. So we love that they are kind-hearted. We love that they are giving. This is going to be the friend that remembers everybody's birthday, everybody's anniversary, everybody's every special day. Like, it is that friend. And we all need that friend because we need that friend to remind us what the other friend is when their birthdays are, right? I have a Good Samaritan in my family, and she is the one that always calls me and says, hey, such and such is coming up. this birthday is coming up. She's the Good Samaritan. She has traits of the Good Samaritan. And so Good Samaritan, Paula said, that's me, absolutely. But they are driven by the expectations of others. And so some of their constraints is that they're people pleasing. And so when it is time for them to goal set, when it is time for them to be productive and to really live an intentional life, it's almost as if they are influenced by what others will say. And for that person, we want them to, as you're writing down that goal, for that person, I want you to write down a goal that is only specific to you. Because what happens is with the Good Samaritan is that they write goals based on the expectations. And even if they write a goal, it is because it's expected. So just like if you're doing something and you feel like you're expected to write a goal, you'll write a goal. Just because it's an expectation of others and to please others. The thing is, these people, because they do care about others, that their goals, when they do achieve them, they not only impact them, but they usually impact others around them. And our goal for them is that they not only impact the people around them, but that they impact them. And so for them, like I said, I asked them before setting a goal, ask yourself, why do you want this goal? Why do you want it specifically? Is it because somebody said at the beginning of the year, we have to plan goals? So you guys know what? Something that I started doing was I stopped planning per se goals at the beginning of the year because that's what people said. And I started creating my own words for my goals. And then I plan my goals before the end of the year. Why? Because I am not a Good Samaritan. A Good Samaritan is probably mixed in with another one that I am. But I will aim to be essentially a part of the crowd, right? Everybody wants to be a part of a movement. And so you kind of get sucked into that as the Good Samaritan is, what is everybody else doing? Okay, I want to do that. And so it's important that we want you to know why you're building these goals. And so making sure that they have nothing to do with your family, that they have nothing to do with anybody else. It is strictly you. And so it sounds selfish to the Good Samaritan, but you have to be comfortable with making sure that these goals are centered around what you want to do. I love the Good Samaritans. And then lastly, we have the perfectionists. So for me, I have like 3 of these intertwined in one. But when we look at the drivers, when we look at some of their constraints, the perfectionist would probably be where I am. My sisters on here would probably be a cross between the perfectionist and the CEO. I'll kind of let them say it. But the perfectionist, oh my goodness. This is your friend that you want around when you're going somewhere, right? Because this particular friend has already researched where you're going, how you're going to get there. So the CEO has planned it out. But the perfectionist, she is going to research. Let me tell you guys a quick story. We were in South Africa. And so it was me, my husband, and 2 of our friends, and they wanted to go on a helicopter. Your girl was like, I'm sorry. So they had booked the trip, but they had booked the excursion. And so I started asking the questions. Well, who owns the helicopter company? Who drives the helicopter? Who does the PMC on the helicopter? Like, that is the perfectionist. They want to know everything. How far up are we going? What are we going to be able to see? Because they need to analyze everything before they analyze everything that they analyzed. Right? They want to analyze everything so that they can analyze the thing that they already analyzed. And so the thing with the perfectionist is their drivers are being recognized as an expert. And so when they are not recognized as an expert in a situation, they won't do it. So this isn't going to be the free spirit. Usually they do not operate as a free spirit because they will not take leaps. They are very, very risk averse if they are not an expert. And so if they're an expert, they feel very comfortable. They will stand up in that. They will stand out in that, but they will not do anything that they're not an expert at. Thank you, Tamika. And then they're also very detail oriented and they're competitive. Why are they competitive? Because they only compete in the areas that they're good at. I'm telling you, hello, that's me. Listen, if you want to play spades, I'm going to play spades because I know I'm good at spades. I'm going to do what it is that I'm good at. And actually, over the last year, my life has like stretched me from this perfectionist because I have done stuff that I am not used to, that I don't do. And so that has helped me. So one of the constraints is the analysis paralysis, and no goal is ever good enough. They also like to be in control. And so, what I like to say for them as we're goal setting, as we are talking about our productivity, is focus on the right targets, not the perfect targets. What do I mean by that? So let's go back to the Good Samaritan, where we're planning these goals. Oftentimes, the perfectionist can plan goals based upon what they know. Why? Because the underlying driver is the expectations of people, the applause of people. And so we go back to that we focus on the right targets, that we focus on those targets, whether or not we're the perfectionist in them, or the expert in them. We focus on the targets that make our heart beat. What are the targets that give you your flame? That fire, put the fire under your feet. And so that is what we focus on, not the perfect target, but the right target for you. And so one of the things that I always tell perfectionists is to set goals set due dates for your goals, for your you have to. I know everybody uses the SMART method. And I've used the SMART method, and it always says that it should be time sensitive, right? It should have a time around it, especially for the perfectionist. You should not only have a time limit around your overall goal, but you should have a time around every sprint of your goal. And as we talk about it, we'll talk a little bit about how we break our goals up based on our types. So you guys, thank you so much for joining. How was this? How was this? Did you guys enjoy it? Did it give you anything that you knew? Did it just solidify some things you already knew, you had already heard? How was it? So one of the things I want you guys to identify your archetype. So I know a couple of people said, I'm a free spirit. We have a perfectionist in here. We have a Good Samaritan in here. Was there anyone in here that was the CEO? I know Ty said that she was a perfectionist as well. So definitely. And then what I asked you to do is, as we were going through that, to label which one you were. And many of you guys did label which one you were. Write down your big pain point. Because when I went through what your drivers were, where your constraints were, where your opportunities were. So let me know what were some of your pain points. I enjoyed this. I'm a cross between all. So I'm grateful for the understanding. Absolutely. And so what we usually do is we put them in 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Which one are we? Thank you, Paula. Thank you. I so appreciate this. If you are a cross between them all, because we all have a little bit of all of them, but the one that really stuck out to you, put a 1, and then the second one, put a 2 in that. So yep, you are a Good Samaritan. And then write down your biggest pain point when it comes to you. When it comes to me as a perfectionist, it is not always the analysis paralysis for me, but I don't do anything that I'm not good at. And so taking that leap is something for me to work on. So that's my biggest pain point. So when I am goal setting, that is one of the things that I really have to focus in on. And then number 3, we said, write down a goal that you want to accomplish in the next, and that you think you could accomplish in the next 14 days. How can I accomplish a goal in the next 14 days? Don't worry, I'm going to show you. I'm going to teach you. And I'm going to teach you by your behavior type. How about that? So, and then I said, whatever the goal is, write 1 through 10. And if it's anything less than a 6, throw it out because you won't do it. You don't care about it. It's not your flame. It's not important to you. It's probably somebody else's expectations. And so I hope that this is a thing that cancels the expectations of others. And we really, really dig deep and say, I want to do this because of me, not because of anybody else. So hey, there you go. That's why whenever I try to start goals, I used to say, oh, I started on Monday. Now I say a different day of the week because it changes your mind. It switches my mind from, oh, it always has to start on the first of the month, at the beginning of the month, or at on a Monday. That's not true. That's not true. So we can start any day of the week. So we want to change kind of those, as my friend Marty would say, a neurological pathways of thinking. And so, yeah, I asked you to ask the question. Did you just write the goal because I asked you, or is this something you really want? And the reason why I ask that is because sometimes we aren't productive because we're taking on other people's expectations, goals, or dreams and making them ours. And so, you guys, I don't want that to happen for you. I clearly identify as them all. My actual pain point is trusting others with my babies, my business, and goals. Yes. And I'm so appreciative, Tamika, that you trust me. So I'm very appreciative of that. And I thank you guys so very much. All right, guys. So listen, if this was good, share. Let's get this message around, because I'm pretty sure that it's so many people that don't understand, how can I take my behavior types and how can I execute on them? So if you guys want to be in the know, make sure that you text the phrase wake up to 31996. That's wake up to 31996. Share the broadcast. You guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for joining, darlings. And as always, we end every single show with this declaration: waking up is automatic, showing up is intentional. Today, we will show up. I will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.